You don't pay with money, you pay with attention. Lifestyle is an attention tax. You don't pay with money, you pay with attention. Most people believe money is the cost of things. That is superficial. Money is replaceable, attention is not. Every lifestyle choice you make demands maintenance, thinking, planning, defending, upgrading, worrying. That demand does not come once, it comes every day. You are not paying for the car, you are paying with the part of your mind that must now carry the car. You are not paying for the house, you are paying with the part of your attention that must now sustain the house. This is why wealthy people are often mentally poor. Why this is invisible to most. The brain confuses stimulation with gain. A lifestyle upgrade gives novelty, relief, excitement. But novelty consumes attention. Relief creates dependence. Excitement requires repetition. Soon the upgrade becomes baseline, expectation, obligation. Now attention is trapped, and trapped attention cannot go deep. Lifestyle is an attention tax. A tax is not taken once, it is taken continuously. Every added comfort reduces silence, increases surface level thinking, fragments focus, creates background noise. This noise is subtle, so people don't notice it. They just notice they can't sit still, they can't stay with one problem, they feel busy without progress, learning feels harder than before. They blame discipline, they blame motivation, they blame age, they never blame maintenance. Why depth requires low maintenance? Depth demands long attention spans, tolerance for boredom, absence of urgency, psychological space. A high maintenance life destroys all four. Understanding does not arrive when you chase it, it arrives when nothing is pulling you away. Most people never experience this state, not because it is rare, but because they have priced themselves out of it. This is not about poverty or asceticism. This is not about living small. This is about living light. Light enough that attention is free, silence is available, reality can be observed without rush, results may still come, money may still grow, comfort may still increase, but they do not become the center. The final point. People think success gives freedom. It does not. Low attention tax gives freedom. If your life requires little from you, you can give a lot to understanding. If your life requires much from you, you will live reacting, not seeing. That is the real cost. Sit with this, not to agree, but to see if it is already true in your own life. What live below your means actually means. Most people hear this and think budgeting, restraint, discipline, denial. That is child level thinking. At depth, means are not income. Means is how much psychological load your life demands. Living at your means your life requires constant feeding. Your identity needs upkeep. Your environment demands performance. That is not living, that is maintenance. Why maintenance destroys depth? Depth requires one thing, attention that is not preoccupied. A high maintenance life fragments attention, creates low grade anxiety, keeps the nervous system alert, pulls the mind outward. Even when nothing is wrong, something is pending. That pending state kills insight, patience, learning, seeing clearly. You can't understand deeply when your mind is busy sustaining an image. External highs are not the problem. Dependence on them is. A lifestyle upgrade itself is neutral. The problem begins when pleasure becomes proof, spending becomes identity, comfort becomes reassurance. Now, your nervous system expects stimulation, and once expectation is set, silence feels empty, simplicity feels like loss, depth feels boring. This is how people lose the ability to stay with one thing long enough to understand it. Why this is not sacrifice? Sacrifice implies you are giving up something valuable for a moral reason. But what you are really giving up? Shallow excitement, comparison driven pleasure, borrowed significance. These were never assets. So, this is not sacrifice, it is subtraction of noise. Attention production is the correct phrase. Attention is your only non renewable resource. Money can be earned again, status can be rebuilt, comfort can be recreated. But attention, once fragmented for years, is very hard to reclaim. Live below your means lowers internal volume, reduces future pressure, removes urgency from decisions. This creates the conditions for real work, real learning, real understanding. Not because you try, but because nothing is pulling you away. Why understanding feels higher than money? Money gives relief, stimulation, permission. Understanding gives closure, stillness, clarity. Relief fades, stimulation escalates, permission expires, clarity does not. That's why understanding feels non dual. There is no me getting it, the loop just ends. Silence appears, and that silence feels like freedom. Live below your means, not to be disciplined, not to be frugal, but so life requires less from you, leaving attention free to stay with what is real. Most people don't fail because they lack money, they fail because their life consumes all their attention, leaving nothing for depth. You are intuitively moving against the trap. That's not philosophy, that's intelligence recognizing its own requirements. Sit with this, it doesn't need improvement, only obedience. If your life requires little from you, you can give a lot to understanding. If your life requires much from you, you will live reacting, not seeing. Why this is invisible to most? The brain confuses stimulation with gain. A lifestyle upgrade gives novelty, relief, excitement. But novelty consumes attention. Relief creates dependence. Excitement requires repetition. Soon the upgrade becomes baseline, expectation, obligation. Now attention is trapped, and trapped attention cannot go deep. If your life requires little from you, this does not mean minimalism as an idea. It means low demand on attention. When life requires little, fewer decisions are pending, fewer things need upkeep, fewer identities need reinforcement, so attention is not used up before the day even begins. This leftover attention is what allows staying with the question, observing without rushing, noticing second order effects, letting understanding mature. Understanding does not need intelligence, it needs unoccupied attention. If your life requires much from you, when life requires much, many things must go right. Many signals must be monitored. Many outcomes must be protected. This creates a constant reactive stance. Reaction is fast, understanding is slow. A reactive mind solves immediately, avoids silence, seeks closure, jumps to conclusions. Such a mind cannot see, it can only respond. Why this is invisible to most people? Because the brain mistakes activation for progress. Stimulation feels like movement, noise feels like engagement, urgency feels like importance. But none of these create understanding, they only create busyness. The lifestyle upgrade trap, step by step. First, novelty. A new purchase activates dopamine. Attention is hijacked, the mind feels alive, but novelty always fades. 2. Relief. The upgrade removes discomfort. This feels like improvement, but relief is not freedom. Relief is dependence on comfort. Now the mind resists any drop in stimulation. 3. Excitement. Excitement is contrast based. It requires something better than before. This is the key trap. Once excitement becomes expected, repetition is required to sustain it. When the upgrade becomes the baseline, what was once special becomes normal, assumed, invisible. The nervous system adapts. Now, silence feels dull, simplicity feels like loss, stillness feels threatening. At this point, the upgrade is no longer giving, it is demanding. Expectation turning into obligation, turning into maintenance. This is where attention gets trapped. Expectation, this is how life should feel now. Obligation, I must maintain this level. Maintenance, planning, earning pressure, comparison, anxiety. Maintenance is a silent tax. It never announces itself, but it occupies the mind constantly. Why trapped attention cannot go deep? Depth requires boredom tolerance, long spans of quiet, absence of pressure, openness without agenda. A busy mind maintaining comfort avoids boredom, shortens attention span, seeks quick rewards, fears stillness. So, even when such a person tries to focus, their mind slips away. Not due to weakness, due to overload. The core insight, very important. Understanding is not something you do, it is something that happens when nothing else is demanding you. Most people are never empty enough for understanding to arrive. They are too full of life. Final compression. What stimulates you first will eventually own your attention. That is why this is invisible. Because it feels like gain at the beginning, and by the time it becomes a cost, the nervous system is already adapted. See this once clearly, and lifestyle choices stop being emotional. They become strategic decisions about attention. That's the real intelligence here. So, you never pay for things with money. Money leaves once, attention leaves every day. What you add to your life asks to be maintained, protected, upgraded, and defended. That demand is continuous. When life requires little from you, attention is free and understanding can appear. When life requires much from you, attention is consumed and you live reacting, not seeing. This is why lifestyle is not neutral, it is an attention tax. Spend carefully. So, lifestyle is not paid for with money, it is paid for with attention. Every upgrade adds maintenance, every comfort adds demand, every display adds noise. Over time, this quiet tax fragments attention until there is little left for depth, clarity, or understanding. A low maintenance life is not restraint, it is freedom of attention. Because what you must constantly maintain eventually maintains you.